Hi, we're Laura and Dan. We bought an old barn and with no experience of building and farming, we began creating our dream off-grid homestead. We're usually fixing something or making lots of mistakes. Follow us on our journey. So our job this week is to sort this crusty old bad boy out. So as you can see, the door's very old, it's been standing in here a very long time and it needs a little bit of TLC. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be totally reclaiming it. We're going to be taking it off, sanding it, putting a new handle on. We've already put a new lock on. We're also going to be putting a window in. We're going to get the glass cut for the window as well. In the back of the door, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting beams in and then insulating it and then cladding it out and making it look like a cute little farmhouse door. So all we need to do is just get our tools ready, take the door off, and then it's ready to get going. With the door now off, we just needed to fire up the generator and get the sander ready for action.
So as you can see, the grinder is working much better. So Laura before was using the sander to sand it down, and it was doing an okay job, and we used that method also when we reclaimed the windows in the previous episode, but we noticed that the sander just wasn't getting enough of it up. So this time with the door, we really don't want to mess this up, we want to do the job really thoroughly, so we're going to just really take our time to make sure that it's completely, basically rust free, completely smooth. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take our time, use this grinder and just work our way around. It's going to take a while, but I think this is going to do the job much more justice.
The grinder was making light work of the door and getting it back to the original metal, rust free. Once the grinder took off most of the tougher stuff, we then switched back to the sander and also put on a tougher sandpaper. We started to make some good progress on the door and it was starting to clear up lovely. With the door rust free and back to the original metal, we were getting excited to turn it into a beautiful farmhouse door.
As you can see, it's really starting to get there now.
Yeah, I'm just using a little bit of sandpaper just to get these corner bits that the big sander couldn't get. But then it's almost time to paint.
Yeah, it's come up really well. I just need to take off this door handle here because we'll be replacing that eventually. And I'm going to turn it over as well and give it a quick sand down on the other side, and then we're going to give it a wash and then we'll be ready to paint.
Yay!
It's looking good though, I like it.
Yeah.
Just in the middle of trying to prise these this handle off, but I don't want to push it too hard because underneath they've got these like catches underneath, and you can't get them off. So I'm not sure if this has kind of been welded on in the past or something, but it's so old it's starting to come off anyway. But I don't want to just kind of completely yank them out and put a hole in the door. So I'm just trying to prise them off a little bit gently and slowly. They're starting to come. And then we can just, once these come off, I'll give it another little sand around there, we'll treat it, and then we'll put on another handle eventually. So it should look good. So as you can see, where the handle was sitting, there was kind of some kind of prominent metal that was sticking out. So what I've done is I've just used the grinder with the sander on, and I've just took off the rough edges, just so that it makes it level again before we treat the metal. So that should come out a lot better. And then I'll just, if we don't put the handle in the same place, which I'm not sure if we are, because I think we've got a different one, we'll just polyfill them holes and then seal it up. You're always doing it the wrong way, don't you? Give it another lift again, give it another wiggle.
So it looks like there's some sort of nest there. Don't want to crack that open. What is it?
It's like looks like an old wasp nest.
Let's see.
See, it's got like all the little thing in it. It's obviously really old.
What? We did a quick sand down of the back of the door. With the door now all washed down, we were ready to fix the window. As a new day came round, we headed to our friends Nick and Andrea's, as Nick was going to help us make a little window that we could fit onto the front of the door. We picked up some steel from the city, then Nick got to work on making the shape of the window. The areas that were going to be welded were then marked out. A little slit was then cut to join the corners together. With the cuts all made in the shape of the window now all ready to go, it was just time for Nick to put his welding skills into action.
Nick, that looks like the type of helmet where someone who's welded quite a few times before.
What?
It looks like a Formula 1 helmet.
Oh no, the batteries are coming.
It's awesome, that, isn't it? the hat of an experienced welder. I'm saying, Nick, have you ever seen that guy who makes his breakfast with in the morning with trowels?
No?
You're that man, aren't you? You definitely are.
Spot weld in the corners just to hold the frame into place. And whatever you do, don't look at it, because this is the arc at the end of this is 4 million times brighter than the sun.
With Dan closing his eyes for dear life, Nick put his welder to the test. With the welding points done, it was time to flip it over and repeat. Time for some more welding.
Right, Dan, you can look there.
Now that Dan could open up his eyes again, it was time to finish up and tidy up the welds.
Ow! It's
There
too
you
hot, too hot to hold.
Too hot to handle. So are you happy with how it's come out, Nick? Are you happy with
Yeah, it's okay. It's square, it's strong. It's not the best of welds, I must admit, but you know, I need to make myself a workbench and then another little job to add to the list.
I think it's really good. I love it. Such a good job. So I'm just starting to work out where I'm going to cut the door and where we want the window sitting to make sure it looks right on the door plane. But this is the part of the job that's a really scary part of the job. In the past I have cut into metal before, and it's one of them jobs where if you get it wrong, it goes really wrong. So hopefully after all this work so far to get to this point, hopefully we don't I don't put a big dodgy shape on the door, and hopefully we can cut it right. So fingers crossed, but we'll see. So what we need to do now is just get it in the right position, mark it out, and then go for the cut. So wish us luck.
We then measured out and marked out where we wanted the window to sit. The key is to measure and measure again, and sometimes even a third time. We did a job in the past where we cut into the metal roof of our camper van and messed it up completely. Flat already. I asked you one job. One job I asked you to do. You ignored it.
What was that, Laura?
I said I asked you to do one job, was to sharpen the pencil.
I've polyfilled the door, I've sorted out all the tools.
I know, but one job, the important job was to sharpen the pencil.
I thought you were the artist.
I was away, I was busy.
Your pencil should be sharpened.
I was on the toilet.
Exactly.
That's why I delegated the job to you, because I was busy. I had jobs.
You're the artist. You should have your pencil sharpened.
Okay.
That's the
right.
root of the artist, isn't it?
Yes.
Vamos, get it sharpened. Show us how an artist sharpens his pencil.
Well, they don't do it with a blunt Stanley, that's for sure. But desperate times call for desperate
Oh, I
measures.
suppose it's my fault, isn't it? That's blunt. not my fault. I'm the
I
man of the land.
delegated the task to you though.
So what task did you do this morning?
I got up,
Brushed your teeth.
I brushed my teeth, I got up, I checked the window that we've done.
You happy with your lines, Laura?
Yeah, super happy.
You don't sound it.
I haven't got a lot of very strong opinion about the lines. Just thinking about how we're gonna move the buckets that are underneath this so we can actually get onto it and cut it. I think.
Don't worry, I've got a plan, Laura. I've got a plan.
Cool.
Where should
I love working with you, you know.
Where should I put from? Here?
Not really. Sarcasm.
Makes us nervous. This is the one. Definitely.
Yeah.
Not a grinder like.
Right.
So I've cut the initial shape out now. It went much better than I thought. The jig actually worked really well, but it has two big steel rods going through the back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to use the grinder just to take them out, and then I'll just neaten the cut up. But it's getting there, so fingers crossed it's the right size.
Hey.
How's it going down there? We've just cut a hole in the door. Hopefully it's went okay, but we'll find out in a minute when we fix the bloody window.
So we need to hammerite the edges of the metal that we've cut just to protect it from rust. We've done this a few times in the van now, so we know what we're doing once we've cut holes in it.
What's the job before that?
You need to sand it down a bit, file it down. Right?
Right.
Okay. E uma casa muito boa.
Looks okay, doesn't it?
Com dois gatos no quintal. See? All that was left to do was to file down the rough edges and we have ourselves a window. Well, a hole for now. Rough edges gone, time to hammerite. After the hammerite comes the primer. Then from seemingly nowhere, the clouds moved in and the rain appeared. It was time to move the door inside the barn.
So I have to move it in for the rain.
Yeah, it's probably quite dark in here, but we don't want to open the shutters because it's windy as well, so that'll just let a big gust of wind through and all the dust and stuff that's on the floor will probably go on the paint, so it's going to be quite dark. Sorry guys.
It's actually very light.
Is it? My
Yeah.
camera? So top section of the door is done. Just need to do this bottom section and then maybe another coat once it's dry.
So we're going to give the doorway a few more days to dry. We don't want to make the same mistake that we made last time doing on the windows, because what happened when I painted the windows, I painted them on the top, didn't I? And I turned them over too quickly because the metal paint takes a little bit longer to dry.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of streaks where the paint's kind of wasn't set properly and it started to run, so it just needs sanded down and painted again, but
we're not doing
that mistake with the door now.
Yeah, no. Definitely not. But it's getting really exciting now. I feel like the barn's we can really start to visualise now it's starting to become a home. Especially some of the jobs that we've got planning that's coming as well. But with the door, we're going to leave it dry, and then we're going to we've got like a nice little gold handle to put on, which I think is really going to touch it up.
Touch it up.
Yeah, touch it up. Batten it out. Touch it up, batten it out. That could be a wrap.
Yeah, and then insulate and clad it, which will be really good.
So we've got the insulation ready to do. We've also picked up the cladding. So it's getting exciting. And I think once we fit the window, fit the glass, and then we batten the back out, it's really going to bring loads of light in here, but also make it feel like a home.
I wonder when we're going to stop calling it the barn and start calling it the house or the home. So yeah, it's starting to feel so much more like a home now, with a little tiled area and a little sunrise patio. It's just really, really just coming together, and I think it's really invoked our morale and our sort of passion towards the project. I feel like we'd lost a little bit of that, but working on the barns really helped us out.
Yeah, definitely give us a big boost, hasn't it? Mm-hmm. And the roof's coming soon as well, so that'll be, I'm getting prepared, ready for that. Also the electrics, I've been getting them all sorted, so there's loads of different things. There's also lots of jobs that bits that we're waiting on that are kind of affect the order of the jobs that we have to do things, because obviously we need to get the electrics in, the roof in before we start rendering the walls. But there's loads going on, isn't there? Yeah,
and we've had a change of heart. Originally we wanted to put the mezzanine on this back wall here, but then after talking it out a bit and thinking about it, I think we're going to leave that was the feature wall and then have the mezzanine on this side.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it might help with like the feng shui of the room as well. So
give us more space as well.
Yeah, so the energy is not just going from the door to the shutters, it actually circles round into the room a bit and goes around. That's my thought process.
Yeah, and also I think it can be higher on this side as well, so we're going to actually put the mezzanine higher up.
Yeah, because you can walk under it. It's just going to be for us to sleep. We're not going to be able to stand up or anything. But
yeah, so we've been planning for the mezzanine. That'll be coming in soon as well, which is good.
Yeah.
And also someone asked a question which I thought was good to answer. We try to do that every now and again, but someone said, like, how often do we do food shopping, and how do we keep our food fresh? We do our food shopping about once a week, because the fridge that we currently have in the van is quite small, so we sometimes can stretch it a little bit further, but normally it's about a week, isn't it? So that's something that we'll plan on improving in the future. Maybe having like building a cold room somewhere maybe as well.
Yeah.
On the land somewhere that we can keep our food cold, because it gets very hot out here.
I think just having a big fridge is going to be such a luxury.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Because like I say, I want to get 2 freezer items in the fridge.
Yeah. You're like trying to jam the door shut.
But the farmer has been helping us out as well. He gives us a lot of fresh vegetables and stuff. most year round, which is really nice of him.
Yeah, until we can start growing our own stuff, he's been really helpful and he's helped us out so much.
Yes, definitely. I think we can leave it there.
Yeah.
So thanks again for tuning in, and we're looking forward to getting that window fixed and then making that door make it a real feature, because it is going to change
it will be a
so
house
much.
then, which is exciting.
It will. So we'll catch you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
Adios.